Today I got my new in the season 2 my new interviewer, so my new guest. As I said, here is Andrew from Instagram Acting4laifu. Then later on the description we will put all the information you want from him. And here you are. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And as you can see, he's dressed for the occasion.
Yes, I came properly dressed for the occasion in my latest cosplay.
Okay, so if you want to see more of him, just check his Instagram, okay, and check it out. Okay, so we'll begin with the first question. Do you consider yourself as a geek person, or yes or no?
I prefer the term nerd, but yes, you could say that I consider myself a geek person. I'm a huge comic book fan. Despite the fact that I'm cosplaying an anime character, I'm not that much into anime, but I've been loving JoJo as of recently, and I love all kinds of stuff. I'm a huge movie geek too, so yeah.
Yeah, so you can say we can say that you are. Okay. Yeah. Where does this influence or your love for all these characters and movies and stuff come from?
I'd like to say that my love for comics and movies comes from my dad, who introduced me to a lot of this stuff. When I was like 3, he introduced me to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, which is one of the reasons why Spider-Man ended up becoming one of my favorite characters of all time.
So it's Tobey Maguire.
Yes, I'm a big fan of Tobey. He also showed me the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy. He showed me a lot of stuff, He showed me some cartoons from his time and some cartoons that were on right now. And I think that's how it all started. Then I just started evolving by myself, I ended up discovering a few games, a few animes that I ended up liking, surprisingly.
So,
So I think that my dad is the one responsible for turning me into the freak that I am today.
He's the one to blame, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do this kind of stuff, like when there's an event of a Comic-Con or something similar, does the city treat it? Do you think it's treated well? Is well marketed? It's not well known? How do you in your country or in your city?
In the whole country, I'd say there are a few cons outside of my city that are treated really well. They are really well marketed. A lot of people know about them. But in my city, it's still a big city, but I feel it's not as well known. There's this event that happens like 4 times a year in my city called Mega CAF, Campinas Anime Fest.
Okay.
And it's well known within the cosplay community and a lot of the anime and comic book community in my city, but outside of it, not so much. I think it's more of a small con that we in the city know of. Part of it knows of, but it's not like common fact like Comic-Con.
Okay. So, have you been like an interview before this one about cosplay or?
No, this is my first time in an interview about cosplaying.
Okay, so I hope you like it.
I'm really enjoying it so far.
Okay, so this one is like a tricky question. Which was your first Comic-Con? The first one that you went?
The first one that I went to was actually this year in April. It was Mega CAF. It was really close to my home. I went there as Spider-Man, and I really had a fun time. I was a bit nervous at first of how everything would go, and some stuff went bad. I don't want to get too much into it, but it was still a really fun con, and I got to meet a lot of friends. I got to meet a lot of cool people there. I got to take a lot of shots with other cosplayers, and I think that was the point where my love for cosplay really started to get stronger and stronger.
So we can say that that Comic-Con is the best one that you have got already, or there's another one.
No, I did go to other cons. Recently, I went to CCXP, which is like Comic-Con in São Paulo, which is like one of the biggest cities in my country.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there, and I absolutely loved it. Like, I was so tired by the end of the day, but I really loved being there. It was an amazing experience, and I cannot wait for next year. Honestly,
Okay.
that one was the best one.
Okay. So, is there's like a since you have met all these Comic Cons, and there's a Comic Con that you would like to go or that you regret not going?
I would love to go to Up ABC at São Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I never really got to, plan everything out in time. I would also really love to come trip, but due to how I don't really have a way to finance myself and considering the fact that I don't really know how to speak many other languages other than my own and English, I can't do it right now, but I really hope that one day in the future I get to go such like Luca Games at Italy or San Diego Comic Con and so on.
Yeah. The San Diego one is that everyone says, okay, I want to go there.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Have you gone to any Comic Con without cosplay, or how do you feel, or that you need that you have to go with a cosplay or not go without, or not going at all?
I never went to a con without any cosplay on. Every time I went, I was always in cosplay. Although I'm not totally against the idea, but I'd rather stay in cosplay to go at cons because it just feels right to me,
You feel accorded. What is your most valuable possession, that something that you bought that you have really appreciated for that? The thing that you bought and you say like, I want this and I need to buy it, and this is my precious, like.
I actually have that thing right now. Just give me a sec, okay?
Okay.
This fell out right here. This is
Mr. Stark.
Yeah, Sage Figure Arts Mark 6 Iron Man. I bought him at a Comic Con, CXP, and I just knew that I needed him. I was always a big fan of the early Marvel movies, the early MCU movies. I love Iron Man as a character in those movies, and this was one of my favorite armor designs so far. So I just knew I had to buy it, and I really like him.
Okay, so. That's nice. Okay, so this one is another tricky one. So which one is the most valuable gift that they gave you? Someone about this culture. Which one would you say it is? Or is one that you really appreciate most?
I don't really have many. I haven't received like any gifts at all.
Okay.
Although there was this one time that a small kid came to me. It was during Mecha Calf, and he just handed me a nice drawing of me and him together, and that really made my heart like. It really meant a lot. It was something really small, but it was big at the same time.
Yeah, it's like it's really valuable in how to say it, with sentiments, and it's emotional, really emotional.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a question later on related to that, but I think we already say it.
Yeah.
Okay. So since you are now in this cosplay world, which is a cosplay that you will recommend to people in general? You say like follow this person or read this person, or because it's really amazing or very creative, or you say like
that's passion, because I follow a lot of cosplayers.
Just
mention
two or three, and that's it. It would be a shame to leave like everyone else out. I know that.
Yeah, I really want to mention the big ones that kind of inspired me to start cosplaying, like Teen Stunning Spidey and Spidey Fit. But I also really want to mention some of my friends, who helped me throughout this cosplay career. So two friends of mine that I really want to mention are Leon Explorer on Instagram and Rick and Webslinger, also on Instagram, and they've been really nice to me over the last year or so. Not year or so, but over the last couple months.
What was your first cosplay?
My first cosplay, I started it at the end of December of last year, and I ended around March or February of this year, and it was the homemade Spider-Man suit from Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
You know, I thought it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I have seen it. I have a friend who also made it, and it's really cool. It's a really cool design.
It is. It's also very simple to make, and I feel as if I need to update it now because I don't like it how it looks right now. But I feel as if I got around to updating it, I think it would look pretty good. But as of right now, I want to focus on other stuff.
Yeah, that's a problem. And what is the thing that brings you to make it? What makes you feel like, okay, now I'm decided to make cosplay?
I don't know for sure. I mean, it's just something that I always wanted. You know, as a kid, I always loved just dressing up as characters and heroes and stuff. And then I ended up finding out that, wait, it's okay for me to do it still as a teenager. Let me try it. So I just started planning the stuff out. And it was 2 long years of trying and failed attempts that I finally was able to start cosplaying.
Yeah, that's right, because a lot of people is like, I want to do it, but I don't know how to do it, and I don't know when, or I don't know how, and that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you said it already, but do you have people who help you, like doing cosplay or giving you advices or?
Yeah, I know quite a few people who helped me out. There's this Discord server that I'm in, full of amazing people who always are there to help a guy out and tell you to do some stuff, and it's really nice. There's also a few personal friends of mine, you know, and many times there's my family who helps me out with some new area that I'm not really familiar with. For example, I called my sister to help me out making makeup because I have no idea how to work that stuff out. And it's really nice having all these people around me. I'm really glad and really lucky to have them all around.
And what do your family think about it, or like that you do this kind of stuff? Do they like it? Do they look strange? Would they say, this one I like it, that one not? It's like
it's more or less like that nowadays. When I started doing it with just Spider-Man, they looked at me weird. You know, they kept commenting on how, no, you're too old to do this. No, this is going too far. At time they accepted me being Spider-Man. But then I was like, you know what? I want to cosplay a JoJo character. And my parents were just like, seriously? I don't know, because they were thinking that I was wasting money, or the fact that they're not too much into anime and just think it's weird.
So it's like, what is JoJo? Something like that.
No, they just asked about the character, and I said, oh, he's a high school delinquent with a punching ghost. And my dad just looked at me weird. My mom, she didn't get it at all. And
I know. Do you think that, do you give enough time in cosplay, or do you think that you give it too little, or maybe that it consumes you a lot of time?
You know, due to me being really picky with my cosplay stuff, I want to have everything just looking just right. So it takes a lot more time for me to look for the materials than to actually make everything up. Sometimes, you know, everything just flops and I have to start over. And I'm a guy who likes the small details. You know, okay. I want to have everything looking right before I say it's done.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say I'd say that it takes more time of me just thinking of how to do it than me actually making the stuff. So yeah.
Okay. And you have a work area, a workshop to do your cosplays, or you?
No, I often just make the stuff in my room or in my garage, and that's it. Sometimes I use the dinner table to do the stuff. Okay.
Do you like to, or you have compete or in a contest, participate in a cosplay contest?
No, I'd like to, but I still haven't done it. It's just this thing that, well, I wasn't feeling too confident of participating in one because I didn't feel as if I was good enough to compete with all the others. With this one, I feel confident to do it, but I didn't have the chance to do it yet.
Okay. Okay, so next question is about cosplays, and there's one about that. If there's a cosplay that you have seen that you would like to have for your own, someone is cosplay that you say, I'm gonna steal it because I like it very much.
Oh yeah, a lot of times. More specific. This is another Spider-Man example, but Spidey Planet on YouTube, he did an amazing copy of the Raimi suit, and every time I look at it, I just feel as if, oh my god, I need this so much. But then I remember that if he's not commissioning anymore. There are a few others cosplayers on Instagram who make amazing replicas of the Raimi suit, but it's just completely unaffordable.
Yeah, I know. I also want a Raimi suit, so I know what you cry for. So, is there any cosplayer that would you like to meet in person?
Man, there's a lot that I'd love to meet in person. I had the chance of meeting Leon Chiro on CCXP recently, and he was a really great guy, and he does some amazing anime and movies cosplay, and it was just so great meeting him. I'd also really like to meet, as I mentioned before, Spidey Planet and T-Stunning Spidey Pete, because those three, I feel as if they were inspiration for me to start cosplaying characters, because it was a character that was close to me, Spider-Man.
Okay, no, I understand the feeling. So, talking about a famous cosplayer, would you like to be one? Would you like to be like achieve to the greatness of cosplay? Or just cosplay for fun?
I don't really look for fame in cosplay. Of course, I always want people to know about my cosplay. I always want to know their opinions on the cosplays that I do. That's why I often hope to have a lot of comments in my posts. But fame for cosplay is not something that I crave for. It's just something that I do mostly for fun as a hobby.
Okay. And do you take your cosplay like in the street, or you just use it on the Comic-Con?
I mostly use the cosplays that come, but at times I like to do some small skits with it, or sometimes I have some odd jobs involving cosplay that I do. So there's that. And
do you cosplay like outside the events, or just in that cases?
Yeah, I do cosplay sometimes outside of the events. Mostly for meetups or just photo shoots, but aside from that, not much. No.
Okay.
And I'm cosplaying right now for this interview.
Okay. That's nice. And do you think that, or would you like to cosplay be like more important in this world right now, or do you think it's fine, or?
I think the amount of cosplayers that we have in the world right now, it's a pretty good number. However, I feel as if we need more people respecting it and trying to be more understanding of it, because right now I feel as if there's just way too many people who are, who find it a bit too weird and just look at you in a bad way. And of course, there's all the drama that has in the cosplay community, often with the race or body standards, and that's just disgusting. And so I don't think that we need more cosplay attention, or actually a bit more attention, yes, but I think we need more respect in the community and outside of the community,
Okay. From inside and from outside.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And what keeps you making and doing cosplay?
I don't know. It's just something that I really enjoy doing, and it kind of collapses with my love for movies and acting, and that's stuff that I like to do. I like to play characters. So I guess you could take that my love for acting is part of the reason why I love cosplaying so much.
And do you think, and you talk about this, the cosplay, that you do cosplay in your work or with friends, or you just keep it as a secret, or do you want people to know, or?
No, I do show it to many of my friends and family too. I'd love to do more group cosplays, with friends, but I don't know many people who live in my area who cosplay, so that's a bit of a bummer. But I'd love to know more.
Okay. This one has to do with pictures. So I ask you about how you feel when people ask you about taking pictures. Can you explain it, please? How you feel and how you treat them?
Okay. So whenever someone is coming to me asking for a picture, I feel really happy to take the picture. As long as they treat me respectfully. Like
Yes.
they come to me, like, "Excuse me, sir, could I take a picture of you?" Well, not sir, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just be polite about it. Be gentle, and a lot of people talk about this, but asking for a picture while someone is just eating or resting is the worst thing ever. It makes you not want to take a picture. I do it because I don't want to seem rude, but it really pains me when someone's just coming to me asking for a picture while I'm on the break or just eating, or yeah. That's why I often wait a lot to ask for pictures, because I don't want to interrupt a conversation or someone eating or anything like that.
Okay. And when you ask pictures, how do you feel? How do you feel excited, or
I get a bit anxious, to be honest, because I feel like I don't know how to properly explain this, but I get a bit anxious and way too excited.
Yes, I know.
I often pose way more than I should. So, but I try to keep it respectful. I try to seem like a decent human being.
Okay. Are you a fan of a certain character that you like to see people cosplaying?
Well, I'm a fan. I'm always up to see people cosplaying a lot of different characters. As I mentioned several times before, I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, so I like seeing all the different people cosplaying different Spider people. I love seeing armor cosplays, like Gundams and Iron Man, and it's not very often that happens, but Transformers 2.
Yes.
And I love seeing JoJo characters because the designs are often really interesting, and it's nice to see how the people do it with the poses and the memes.
Okay, so which is the most the cosplay that you have with let's say the most successful that people ask you for a lot of pictures, that people ask you to say, hey, that's cool cosplay? Which one would you say is your best cosplay? Not for you, but I mean for the people.
For the people, yeah. I think it would be Spider-Man, mostly because for the reason that it's a very recognizable character, and because the version of Spider-Man that I cosplay, it's just a modern version of the classic outfit. So I think it's that.
Okay. So when you're wearing cosplays, you like the people to ask you for pictures?
Yes, I love having people come to me asking for pictures, because it just makes me feel really happy that they recognize the character and that they like the cosplay,
And how about the poses that you make? That you train them before, or you just make that up?
I often train like key poses, the poses that I expect people to see, and that I want to do it. But at times I often make up on the spot, and I just do something that completely does follow up with the character. So,
do you have like your favorite picture, a picture that you like most of everyone picture that have you made?
Yeah, I do have a picture. I don't know my favorite picture of all time, but I
Mhm.
know my favorite picture from each con that I went to.
Which one is
Yeah,
the picture that you like the most because it means a lot to you?
the picture that I like the most, that means a lot to me.
Yes.
It's
All
from
right.
my first ever con that I went to uh, when I was Spider-Man, and there was this little kid that was also dressed up as Spider-Man, and he was just asking, was taking pictures with me, and
Mhm.
I hugged him, and and I was taking the pictures. I got to keep some, and whenever I see it, my heart just warms up a lot. Um, Having an influence on other people is always great. Is a great feeling. It's also a bit scary because you feel a certain responsibility with it, especially with kids. So
Yes.
while
Yes.
the feeling may be a little bit scary because of all the responsibility that you have to go through, through representing the character well and playing him well, it's still great when it works and the kid starts believing in you. Like, oh my God, this is the real Spider-Man. It's amazing.
Yeah. Nice feeling.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it. When you start a cosplay, do you start with excited or do you start with skepticism? Like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work well, but I'm gonna like to continue it. And
No, I always started really excited, but halfway through it, I started feeling a bit anxious about it. Like, okay, what if this doesn't work or that doesn't work? And then when something that I thought about it and it ends up failing, I get just really, I got really desperate. It's a terrible feeling of despair, but I just keep going, trying to find another way out.
nice, nice. So,
Yeah.
the cosplays, do you like plan them to do, or they just like appear from nowhere and then you start doing it?
Uh, Well, yeah, I plan them, but I don't plan them for any cons. I just plan
Do it.
to have a character for cosplays. So Spider-Man was the first pick for my first ever cosplay because it was an obvious choice. It was my favorite character of all time. I started watching in JoJo a few months ago, and I wanted to start out with a main character, so I picked the one that had the most interesting design to me. In which case, Jotaro. And that's it.
Okay. So, there's something that you have to learn that you didn't know to make cosplays.
Yeah, a lot. I had to learn how to sew minor stuff, but I still had to learn how to do it. I had to learn how to not burn myself with hot glue. I still didn't learn that. I had to learn how to like operate with proper materials, how to make them not suck, um, and not have everything fall off while I'm using it.
Okay. Is there something that you already know when you start cosplaying and that been useful to you, or you have to start from zero? As
Um, okay. I knew how to paint, how to use certain types of paint on fabric, and that's it. Everything else I had to learn from the start up.
nice, like I seem like everyone else.
Yeah.
Is there something that you would like to learn to use it in cosplay?
Yes, I'd love to know how to make armor plating and make a good looking armor for cosplaying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there something that would you like to advise to a person who will start cosplaying? Like a new starter. There's like an
Yeah.
advice I would like to give to that person.
Yeah. Stay calm. It may be scary at the start, but just breathe in and try taking it all out. Maybe a lot of disasters through the way,
Hmm?
but trust me, it's gonna be a fun trip.
Okay. And to the older ones, to the ones that already have done like 15 cosplay or they're
Oh my God. I don't know. There was this one lady that I worked at for a charity event, and she came to me saying, "Dude, my cosplay career, since birth. I was 15 at the time. Her cosplay career is like 18 years old. She's an old lady, and well, not old lady, but like in way older than me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know what advice to give other than try to be welcoming for starters and always try to help out with your knowledge, I guess that's my advice.
Okay. Is there a material, certain type of material that you would recommend using for making cosplays?
I feel as if that's a little bit too vague, but me having more experience working with Spider-Man cosplays, I'd say mostly focus on spandex and lycra, although always try to mix some stuff up, like try using some liquid latex and buff paint for the minor details, and sometimes you gotta really look your stuff up in order to select the right materials. For this one, I had to go with something that was elastic, but not tight or anything. So I had to look up materials that actual school uniforms, Japanese school uniforms use, and I ended up finding out that it's kind of similar to the materials used on formal suits, like wedding suits and so on.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember the exact name, but
doesn't matter.
Something like that.
Is there like a material that you don't like to work with?
Latex.
Latex. Okay.
Dear God.
Okay.
Oh God. I have a lot of respect and appreciation for those who use latex on their cosplays, but oh my God. It's uncomfortable. It's really just. I have a hard time putting it on. Liquid latex, it's fine. It's fine working with it. But rubber latex. Oh my God. Oh God. I thought it was gonna be like spandex, because it's elastic, it's tight. But no, God. I was sweating so much. It was hard to take it on and put it on and take it off. Oh God.
Really bad experience. Okay. When you start a cosplay, do you look for advices or something on the internet, or you start doing it by yourself?
I often look up other people who have cosplayed the character, trying to take notes from it. But I also try to look for interviews or character concepts to kind of have a full-on list of what to make with the character.
Okay. When you do cosplay, do you like more like to be with people and make a group, or do you like to be like a lonely person and go by yourself? What do you think is?
I like to be with a group of friends, at least one friend, but I like to be in a group, I'm always on a group. I always like to be like that. I'm not a fan of going by myself to cons.
Okay. Is there like a type of cosplay that you will never do because there's something that you don't like about it, or?
As I mentioned before, I hate working with latex. It's terrible. So I'm never gonna use a character that has latex. A shiny. Yeah. There's also just characters who expose the bodies too much. I don't mind showing off the body a little bit, but if the character's wearing only like a thong and some boots, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay. So what do you think is worse to a cosplayer? That the cosplay you broke, or do not finish it on time? I
think they're both terrible experiences for different reasons. No, not different reasons, but with not finishing on time, you still have some sort of hope that you can finish later or during the con or something like that. Well, when it breaks during a con or when you're about to go to a con, you just go full on desperate. You don't know what to do, and it's just terrible. I actually had the hat broke on me while it's still on the con. I was able to make a quick fix out of it, and I already properly replaced it now. Man, it was terrible having it fall all just blow up on me, and oh god. But I at least managed to kind of fix it on time, you know. I got a plastic bag and then some pins and just used that to hold it off to the end of the con. And then once I got home, I did something else with it, and now it's all good.
Okay, and do you like to repeat cosplays or try a new one?
I don't like repeating cosplays, although I can't. I don't have that much money, so I have to do it either way.
Okay. Is there something that you like feel jealous about other countries or other cities when with Comic-Cons and stuff?
Yeah, the fact that they have bigger cons right next to them.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, and the events that you have went, they are like going better or going to worse. What do you think about them? Do you think there's something that they need to improve or not?
Okay, so the events that I often go to, which case would be Mega Calf, which happens like 3-4 times a year. I think they're pretty good, you know, for a smaller con. It's pretty good. It's well organized. It's easy to go through the place, and stuff there is pretty good. So I don't have really many complaints of it. I was thought maybe, I don't know, maybe having to do with the fact that it's a school and they prepared for the con for just one day, 4 times a year. So it's more of a personal thing because it's a school that I used to go to and hated it, but now going there just for the con, I love it. It's just that it's just some minor nitpick that honestly it's just a problem with me, really.
Okay, is there a cosplay that would you like to do but you can't because you are missing the material or you don't have the time or?
Yeah, a lot actually. As I mentioned before, I'd love to be able to make the Spider-Man Raimi suit. I also love to work on the earlier Iron Man suits, you know, from the first few movies. I'd love to do a lot of characters, but I feel as if I don't have the experience or knowledge, or just I don't have the money to do it right now. So there's that.
Okay, and do you have an impossible cosplay that you know that is for you like kind of impossible because you don't have the money, the space, or the room to have it, or something that is like kind of impossible?
Yeah, I do, and that is being able to do Dr. Octopus.
Mr. Octavius.
Yeah. Not just because of the arms, but also because I'd have to be fat for it, and I'm not. I'm actually kind of skinny, and I like to keep it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like? Now that you do cosplay, do you wear them also on Halloween, or do you do not wear cosplay on Halloween?
Yeah, I do. Mostly because I don't want to go through the process of making another costume or just buying another costume, so I just get whatever is in the closet.
Okay. Do you think about leaving cosplay or stop doing cosplay, or do you think that you will continue on this until you die or something?
Nah. I think I'll definitely stop at some time. Actually, I'm sure I'll stop it at some time, but I also have a feeling that I'll come back after I stop it for that small amount of time, you know? Like, I'll need a big break from it for a while, and then I'll be back, you know?
Okay.
It's not gonna happen now, but it's gonna happen someday, probably.
Which is your favorite character of all? Not just cosplaying, but in general.
My favorite character of all? No, okay. It's hard to say my favorite character of all time, but I mentioned Spider-Man a lot throughout this interview, but
Yes.
he's one who always really, he's one of the few characters that I'm able to both relate to and be inspired by the whole thing. With no matter how many hits I take, I always find a way to come back up, and that always really meant a lot to me, because never giving up, no matter how shitty your life may be, because Peter Parker's life is definitely one of the worst, but he always keeps going, and I find that really inspiring to me.
Okay, Mr. Peter Parker. Okay, and what type of characters do you like? Characters in general, like what type of? Do you like to be like an anti-hero, or more like a hero, or malicious? What kind of characters do you like mostly?
It's kind of hard for me to say that. So far I've only been doing characters who are heroes, and they always do good. But it's more of a matter that if I like the character and I like their design, and because I have this criteria for cosplaying characters. It's got to be a character that I really like, and a design that I really like, and then I do the cosplay.
Okay. Which is your favorite villain of all time?
My favorite villain of all time. Man, I have a lot of favorite villains of all time.
Or name a few.
So I'm just... Yeah, okay. So, my favorite Marvel villain of all time would have to be Kingpin, for the simple reason that he's, this big crime boss, and, a story with his wife, and I find that really interesting, because at first he seems just like a normal guy, but he's not. But from the other side of comics, DC Comics, something I think I'm gonna be called really basic for this, but I always really liked the Joker and his duality with Batman, and
good choice.
From anime overall, I'm gonna be seeming a bit like a JoJo fact, but I don't watch much anime other than JoJo. But I really love Dio, and he's gonna be the first villain that I'm gonna cosplay eventually.
Yeah, it's a good choice also. It's a good choice. And you can say, it's me, Dio!
Yeah, but from movies overall, it's kind of hard to say from movies, because there's a lot of great movie villains out there. Man, I don't know.
Hard choice.
But, yeah. But, that's just to name a few. It's kind of hard to say favorite villain of all time.
Yes. Okay. And with this is the last question. Is there some how you gonna say it, a power or ability that you would like to have in real life?
I would love to have the power to change my appearance and voice, because then I could probably cosplay characters more properly, with proper body and voice and whatnot, and it would also help me with my dream of becoming an actor, because I could just change my face to the character.
Okay. So let's hope you shoot the dream of being an actor, and hope you get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that was the last question. I hope you enjoyed the interview.
Thank you for having me. Great.
And no, thank you, because I'm trying to revive this, no matter what, And it means a lot to me that people are interested in telling their stories, their and their experience with cosplay. I think it means a lot, not to me but to everyone, because I think that we have all a voice. Doesn't matter if it's louder or softer, and that's why I appreciate you to give me your time to have this, and that you came dressed. I mean, that you came with a cosplay, and that really means a lot to me. And that's it. Everyone, if you need to know or want to know more about Andre Acting4laifu, we'll leave everything in the description. Thanks for watching the video, and see you soon.
Bye.